from the closing opposition, and I believe, or we believe, that this house should not allow same-sex couples to adopt children.
Yeah.
Alright. First of all, look at it this way. Okay, the adopted kids, they're already going through a very big emotional turmoil. They're getting adopted. Okay, they are orphans, but then when they do get adopted, they have the fear, they have the anxiety that they're going from one place to another place. Okay, their life is already, in a way, it's very messed up with sort of life. And then when they go into a family which is not very well received by society, alright, that is homosexuals, they're not very well seen by society. When they go into a family of that sort, they have already come from a weird situation, they fall into an even more weird situation. It's like from the pot into the fire, right? So then, what happens to these kids? What happens to them? They suffer a lot, emotionally, and maybe, they have a lot of problems. Like, it could be that they face a lot of dilemmas, like when they have to adjust with two people who are very sexually oriented to each other. Okay? Because you have to understand, it's not a laughing matter. You have to understand that same-sex love is mostly sexually oriented. There's very little emotional bonding in that. Alright? So, there might be, I'm not saying that it isn't, but there is very little compared to a heterosexual relationship. So, when they might feel, the child might feel neglected, please stop. The child might feel neglected, alright? So, that's my first point. Secondly, we have, the government has been repeatedly stressing on the point that there will be certain guidelines, but I fail to see where these guidelines are, because I really don't understand the government's guidelines, because they didn't explain it well enough. Firstly. Secondly, the government has suggested that, the few criteria would be checked, like the money, financial. Let me tell you, money isn't everything on earth. Okay? Money isn't everything on earth. Money can't buy a smile. Okay? When a child is having a problem, when a child is being discriminated in school, when the kid, he's going to school and his classmates make fun of him, when they discriminate against him, a ton of money, you buy him a truckload of toys, it won't bring his smile back. It might even, it might just seclude him, please sit down. It might just seclude him from society even more. Alright? Then the government also suggested that counselors, let me tell you, there is no better counselor than a parent. Okay, there is no better counselor than a parent. Counselors can never be an alternative for parenting. Alright? If it was so, we don't need parents then, we just, take us to a counseling center. Hello. And the thing is, we don't need a third person. A parent and a child, why should there be a third person in between? Yes, it might help. But then again, end of the day, the bottom line is, we need your parents. We need our parents to help us out on whatever problems we have. Whether that is homo, or whether that's a problem with my girlfriend or boyfriend. Alright, please sit down. Then, we have, the government also suggested that a few religions, like the Muslims, will not be allowed to adopt children, like Muslim same-sex couples. Let me tell you this, government should be impartial to all religions. Government should be impartial to all religions, no matter what. Please come. Then, all religions are the same. Okay, so, then, another biggest problem here is, the final problem here is different genders. Okay, when you have parents of two different genders, when you have a father and a mother, a proper mother and a proper father, okay, you get different viewpoints. For example, if you have a problem with, let's say, anything, okay, a father might give you a solution like, okay, why don't you just physically tackle it, okay, whereas a mother might give you this, okay, wait with patience, just see it through, wait for a few days, see it through, because that's the viewpoint of different people, different genders. Women are naturally, they're very much more sensible than men. Okay, they tend to see everything in a different, on the long run. Whereas men, they are short run. So what happens to a kid who is adopted by two men? Okay, it's natural for him to become more violent. It's natural for him to become more, more aggressive sort of person. Okay. Then a child who is adopted by two ladies might happen the opposite. He might be all soft and kind and all that. Whereas we need a mixture of both types to live in society. It just does not happen with the same-sex couples. Okay. Then the government has been stressing that problems arise in normal families. Let me tell you this: problems do arise in normal families, but the problems in same-sex couple is much more probable. Much more probable. The probability is much higher for same-sex couples because there is a certain air in that environment. When you are in a same-sex environment, there's a certain air that actually creates these problems. And so with that, I would like to conclude my case here that we believe that this house should not allow same-sex couples to adopt children because it might just lead to bigger problems and it might just hamper the child's development mentally and physically. He might have socializing problems, he might have sexual problems, he might even have life problems basically. Alright? Thank you very much. Okay.